you for spending your evening with us. As the mayor said earlier today, around 10:30 p.m., officer was involved in some sort of road rage incident as he exited Hempstead Highway at Gessner. A young man making a bad decision, we believe at the moment.
One of the biggest inconveniences as an adult is driving. As a kid, you used to view it with fond memories. It represented freedom, independence. But one thing we will come to learn while driving is that it's not just you on the road. And someone's problem can quickly become yours. And today that definitely rang true. Case in point, check out this story in Houston.
Thank you for spending your evening with us. As the mayor said earlier today, around 10:30 p.m., officer was involved in some sort of road rage incident as he exited Hempstead Highway at Gessner. A young man making a bad decision, we believe at the moment. This is all preliminary information. Got out of his vehicle, fired into the officer's vehicle. The officer returned fire. The officer was in his uniform. He, however, did not have his vest. He took we believe, one projectile into the shoulder area. He was near the Northwest Station. He drove himself to the Northwest Station, at which point our highly trained team immediately provided care for him, put a tourniquet, and then he was rushed here by HFD. So he's in good spirits. His wife's on the way. His kids are on the way. A very savvy Hedwig Village police officer listened to the radio call out of the vehicle, the description of the vehicle. When that occurred, she entered the description into a license plate reader and developed the vehicle that was involved in the shooting. From there, she followed that vehicle into Southwest Houston, notifying our teams as to where the vehicle was. We put up an airship, our Fox unit, as well as other resources, and 1 male and 2 female suspects were apprehended rather quickly, and the weapon was recovered.
So as you heard, a police officer in uniform was involved in an alleged road rage incident. It doesn't specify if he was in his police car, but when the 2 vehicles stopped at a red light, the gentleman hopped out of one of the vehicles and opened fire at the officer. The officer was able to drive himself to a nearby precinct. The man was later arrested along with 2 women who were also in the vehicle. It doesn't specify what their relationship is or what the 2 women's potential involvement in the situation was, if they were just arrested for riding along or if they were, wilding out and cussing the cop out as well. It's one thing to get angry when someone cuts you off or honk for no damn reason, but we have come to the point where we're skipping, gestures with the fingers. People used to scream cuss words at people, FUs, jonesing on people, talking about their wig, how they look. Hell, once upon a time, I thought fighting was going too damn far, but now we firing shots at people just off the rip. Like, no verbals, no nothing. Before you go, hey, you may be going a little too far, jumping off the deep end. This story is coming off the heels of another tragic event involving a child that was shot incidentally when the gentleman from another vehicle fired shots into the vehicle being driven by the child's father. But more of the story, be careful out there on these roads and do not engage with these people that are driving. Like I said, unfortunately, you don't know what anybody got going on. They could have nothing to live for. Unfortunately, they can drag you into their reality. And to the shooters, what the hell are y'all rushing for? They reported y'all just went back home. If you shooting like that just off the rip, y'all have better been delivering some damn classified files. Invincible must have needed help. Like, just something that had to be a little bit more urgent than just going to watch the Bad Girls Club. But yeah, I hope they throw y'all under the jail. Unfortunately, This next story just as crazy.
Student is in custody tonight, charged with aggravated assault after a fight at Delta Technical College this morning in Horn Lake. It happened shortly after 8 at the campus on Interstate Boulevard. Police say 2 students got into a fight, and during that fight, police say one of the students attacked the other with a pair of metal shears, cutting him in the head several times. Police identified that suspect as 18-year-old Memphian Braxton Wicks, who was in the DeSoto County Jail tonight. The other student was taken to Regional 1, but is now recovering at home.
So as the guy said, there was a fight that took place at a college between this gentleman who looks like he may know a couple of NBA YoungBoy lyrics and another student. The other student suffered cuts to the head, but was discharged from the hospital later that day. Now, this is a PSA to both y'all and any other students that may still be on that hype energy. Both of y'all are in college, man. Y'all got to do better. This is supposed to be the place of polo shirts, neat haircut, and swag surfing. Like, every time I hear one of these stories, I'm disappointed, man, that, people fighting or either shooting on campuses. Like, you're at a point where you're trying to better your life, trying to do more. This is the equivalent to, rich kids that kind of want to be in the streets or portray that urban lifestyle. But now you done got kicked out, probably gonna end up doing time for fighting, and now you're gonna even have more trouble finding a job. Because while school, unfortunately we know it's not always guaranteed that it can land you a job or a smooth career. Hell, it's better than nothing. Damn sure beats a felony. But unfortunately, you gotta let this petty squabble follow you around. But you can still learn from it and grow. But whenever you get the chance, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Same thing to all y'all. Let me know what y'all thought about today's stories. 1.